Alright, for this one we're going to show you how to do a counting loop. First you're going to have to set two registers for the program to be able to reference to. So we'll go ahead and hit F1 for INST, select register, so press enter, and then go ahead and just use this one here, the blank equals blank, and then press enter again for the R, and then we'll go ahead and set register 1, and we'll set it equal to a constant, so scroll down to constant, press enter, and then you'll press 0 for the beginning of your count, and then press enter, and then you'll go ahead and insert another register to the number that you want to count. So in this case we'll count to 4, and I'll go ahead and add that register real quick. Alright, now that the register count has been set, you'll need to insert a label for the cut that one. You can cut it there. Okay, the next thing that you're going to need is to add a label. So go ahead and scroll down to the JMP LBL, press enter, scroll down and make your label. In this one you'll end up needing two different labels. So for this case we're just going to use one for now. And we'll press enter. And we're going to go ahead, from here you would go ahead and start programming some of your points, or at least insert more lines to be able to program points in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and add a few points, move the robot, just so you can get an idea. Now that we've added those points, this next area is going to be like if you ran through your program and you got to this point and you wanted to count that you've ran through the program one time, and then you'll send it back up so that way it's going to be able to keep looping around until the count is done. So the first thing that you're going to need to do is be able to count up your register 1. And how that's going to work is you're going to press F1 for INST, and then press enter for registers, and go down to option 2, which is blank equals blank plus blank, and then you'll go ahead and hit enter, and then it'll show different options. You'll want to go ahead and just press R for register, hit enter, and then you'll want to enter 1 for that first register, and then press enter, and then you'll want to enter the same exact register again, so you'll go ahead and press enter for R, press 1 again, and then this is where the count comes in. So then now that you've entered in that register equals register plus, you're going to want to go a constant, and then you'll want to press 1 so it'll count up by 1. Then you'll press enter, and then you'll add an if statement in there to say whether or not it has reached the end count register. So you'll go ahead and hit your INST menu, scroll down to if/select, press enter, and then you'll go ahead and use that if blank equals blank, press enter, and then go ahead and hit enter again for your register, and then we'll say register 2 for this first one. So if register 2 equals, and then you'll go ahead and press enter for register again, and then you'll say 1, and then this is your then. So this right here, if it's reached a count, you could either do one of two things: call in another program, or jump to a label that's further down in your programming, so that way it'll move on to that point for programs. And this one, we're going to go ahead and jump to a label that would be used in the future for your programming, and we'll go ahead and say jump to label 2. So now this reads, when it starts running, it'll set register 1 and register 2, and it'll run through your points in your program. Once it gets done with the points in your program, it'll count up register 1, which we had set to 0. So after it would run this line, register 1 would now be at 1. And then since you'll get to this line, if register 2 equals register 1, jump to label 2. But since register 1 is not equaling register 2, it's going to continue reading on down the line. So if we wanted to loop back, we're going to have to add a jump label here to move back up to the label we created before to run that program again. So you'll press F1 for INST, scroll down to JMP/LBL, press enter, enter again for JMP/LBL, and then you'll say 1 for that label that we were creating up above. And then press enter, and now it'll jump back up to that label. It'll run through the program again until register 1 equals register 2. And then you can continue programming other points for after that has happened, and you could also add your second jump label for other tasks that you might want to do after the count loop has been done. So now what we're going to do to finish this off is to show you how to run a program. You'll want to have the cursor started at the very top. Hold on to your dead man switch on the bottom of on the back side of the teach pennant. Hold on to the shift button and then press the FWD for forward, and it will start running the program automatically. And because we set it up differently and we don't have that jump label 2, it's not going to be able to jump to its next label as you saw. If you only want to run one line at a time, you go ahead and highlight the line you want to start from, press the step button, and you'll notice that the step button up here changed from green to yellow with 2 red lines. So now you again hold on to the dead man, hold on to shift and press the forward button, and it may ask you this, which is, are you sure you want to run from that line? You can go ahead and say yes, and then go ahead and hit the forward button again, and it will run each individual line as it reaches to that point.